Are you new to nail art and stamping is kicking your butt? This is a beginner technique that will stun every time. What you're going to want to do is choose a buffet plate, a buffet style plate that has very random images. If you don't have a plate like this, try to choose a full nail design that is random, which, oops, sorry, didn't mean to bump that. Random image, every time you turn it, it looks completely different. And make sure that there's no like vertical, horizontal lines, like these hearts definitely have a direction. Even the laces, though they look somewhat random, um, they're just a little too structured. You want something really loose. If you can find a plate an image where you're like, what is that supposed to be? That's going to be a winner for this technique. This sort of thing is not going to work with all these figural images. This is not a very good choice for this technique. You're going to want something that looks more random, like a textile. So I'm going to go, what I've done is I went ahead and used this, let's see, Pixie Dust by Finger Paints, and I've gotten my foundation color on. For this, I've chosen a blue stamping polish and this kind of purple shimmery thing, shimmery polish by Avon. And here's what we're going to do with it. You do have to really embrace the randomness of this to get it right. What I'm going to do is use a little corner here, plop on a little bit of color, and I'm going to go in between these spots and colorize it again. I'm going to use my scraping tool, and I'm going to scrape in two different directions. Did you notice how I did that? Then when I pick up, all those colors have blended, and then I can just choose where to lay it down on my nail. Another good hint is use a nice big surface area stamper for this, and don't worry about getting it on your nail or all over your fingers, because what you're going to do is just take some tape, and if you go right away and do this each nail, you can get most of this and save yourself a lot of pain and agony during the cleanup phase of your manicure. Try to get the best part out of this that you can. So now, of course, I'm never going to be able to repeat to pick up that same design with those same colors, and I'm not even going to try. I'm simply going to move over to another area and do the same exact thing, dotting on my color. The only thing you want to do is get enough polish on here that you're not having any blank spaces anywhere. And sometimes you've picked up enough to even do two nails. Now, if something were to happen and you only got it on a partial nail, you could use these little bits to patch. Or, well, let me just show you, like say only part of my image gets on, okay, right? So I have some blank spaces there and it looks a little bit goofy. What I could do is just go back in with this other random stuff and just kind of keep putting it on. Or I could use my dotting tool and pick up some of the polish and just kind of lay on some random little cute things to fill the space. Once you get a coat of top coat on, it's going to look absolutely beautiful. So let me go ahead. I'm going to clean these nails up a little bit for you. You can see that this technique is very forgiving. You don't have to worry about, you just have to worry about getting enough polish on the plate to cover everything. You need to scrape twice, so that in two different directions, so that you get a little bit of blending, otherwise you'll get a very clean line, which is not really what you want here. You're looking for some kind of like tie-dyed type of technique here, type of look. Okay, and I should have done this, right away after each nail, and I wouldn't be struggling so much getting that off, but we can hit it with some acetone later. And then of course, what I'm doing off camera here is just cleaning up my stamper head on a lint roller. Guys at this point should know how that's done. Sorry. So you can see how different it looks from here to here. Quite a change. You can see that each nail is completely different, but they all coordinate very, very well. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my thumb so you can see it one more time. And don't get too chintzy with your polish. You don't want any bare spots in between, or you'll have to go back with your dotting tool. I did hear you, baby. I heard you sneezing. That's my baby off camera. He is almost to turn 4 years old. He's getting so big. Okay. And a little more tape. You can see how much better it comes off when you get the tape on right away. Do you guys ever just cheat and leave your messy fingers with polish all over and then just go do the dishes, take a shower, and it comes off as long as you don't have it locked down with top coat yet? Okay, so that's that. I wanted to show it to you in another color combination because blue may not be really your thing. So we're gonna put these off here. And I think I probably, well, I'll show you, what I'll do is I'll show you how to use one of these to do the same look. So this here is OPI Nomad's Dream. It kind of, I noticed it has a green shimmer to it, even though it's somewhat nude. So I decided to go with a green, and of course staying with a coppery kind of brownish tone. These are the ones that I'm going to stamp with. You do need to make sure these stamp rather opaquely when you're choosing your colors. Oops, I would forget. This is a Copper Penny by Soothing Soul Nail Lacquer. One of my favorite new polishes. Stamps very well. So let's see, I want my flower. You can be kind of fussy about this one. You can get the flower to be coppery. Kind of aim for your leaves if you want. You can see I'm being a little more generous than you normally would be with polish. Okay. And usually you only want to scrape once, but because we want the colors to blend, we're going to scrape twice. Very cute. And this one you can see has a lot less contrast in the colors. So that you can do to your taste. If you want something that's more subtle contrast, you do need to build contrast, but it doesn't have to be slap you in the face black and white contrast either. It can be subtle and still be very beautiful. And actually, the more subtle it is, also the more forgiving the design is. So, okay, and that's going to have to be cleaned really well. So you can see where the advantage is on using the buffet plate, because I can just keep going. With a full nail design, I'm going to have to clean this image each time that I use it. Which is not hard to do, it's just a little bit more time consuming. So I'm going to purposely turn it into a different direction than I had used previously. If you're trying to make each nail look alike, you're going to have an epic fail with this technique. You're never going to duplicate laying down the polish exactly the same, laying down the image exactly the same. I think that would absolutely drive me crazy to try to do that. Oops, sorry guys, bumped the camera again. You know, this is hard work. It's practically a strenuous exercise. When you get into a fever of nail art, things can get a little bit crazy. So I do have an accent nail here that I wanted to do a third color combination for. This is the base coat that I used, just some cheapy stuff that I got at a thrift store. I liked the color, I thought that was nice, and I thought it would go well with these colors as well. So, I'm gonna try this. And again, you do want these to be opaque because they need to cover up what's there. And this absolutely looks like a high-end fabric. So anyway, I really hope that you guys will try out this technique, especially if you're struggling with centering designs. You know, there's nothing to center, there's no positioning issues that you could possibly have. The only issue that you're going to have is like the issue we had here where the stamped image dried before we got it on secured onto the nail, and so we had some lifting, and we just filled in that with some dots, and it looks just exactly like some sort of you know, a pattern that you might see on textiles. Hopefully you guys can see the contrast in there. You never quite know how these cameras are going to pick up everything. But just be careful to swatch your color choices and just to embrace the randomness of it, and you are going to have stunning nails. Can you just imagine once I get some top coat on here how these are going to pop? So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. This is Mesa with kinsmade.etsy.com. If you like this video and you'd like to see more, like and subscribe. Thank you.